So I've now deleted that from the YouTube one, and like I said, we just won't react to the YouTube video tonight anyways. Now it goes live. They are, in fact, limiting the Cobain video from Brandon Herrera. That is very interesting. You could even call it fascinating. I don't know if I'm happy about that, but I am very interested in that. All right. All right, I am just getting these posts live because I failed to have them ready in time. That's on me. Wasn't sure you wanted to. Okay. That one was an iffier one to begin with. I'll accept that. For those, in case it works, for those interested, I'm leaving the original link in the description. But yeah, we're just not gonna worry about that one. So we're gonna be talking about some stuff, including the Vishojo and payment limiting issues. Which, I mean, let me finish sending this and I guess we'll get to it. Okay, I believe that's every place. This week in VTubing, a complete Ragnarok. Yeah. We're gonna do something relatively quick first, and then we'll move on to that. I forgot to set up my arm tracking. I thought I was doing fine this week, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh, no. I forgot everything. At least I managed to fix some of this stuff. For now. Yeah, for those who don't know, massive Ragnarok in the VTubing space. Absolutely huge disaster in the VTubing space. We're actually going to start with something that isn't VTuber related, is internet related though. So this is going to involve two different things. I ask you to bear with me. I promise it's relevant. At the very least, it's relevant to people's safety and security. I am super muffled. One moment. Am I doing better? Okay, that is better. Thank you. So the quick thing we're going to talk about is sort of a double header that are related to each other in a way I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to realize. Oh, that would be cool. I want a Metroid helmet. Why am I looking all the way over face tracking? Calibrate. There we go. Anyway, okay, I guess my eyes are just going to drift a little down. Oh, wait, I think I see the problem. Let's try that. Nope, my eyes are still going to drift a little down. Stop that. I don't think it's gonna stop that. I'm just gonna be looking down in the corner this whole time, I guess. Okay, I think I fixed it. Okay, I think I finally fixed it. Anyways, so the UK just implemented a new rule where they're saying for any kind of adult content online, you must now scan your ID and your face. However, I'm seeing people saying that they need to do that just to get online so that they know you're an adult, you're a kid, whatever. That is what they're saying. Now, there are some political implications with what's going on. Don't let us not forget that they arrested people for saying mean things about King Charles. But the big problem is actually a second news story that just happened, which is that a women-only app called T, which is a women-exclusive app for talking about men, just got hacked this morning, which also requires you to scan your face and your ID in order to use it so that they could prove that you're a woman. It uses, to my understanding, a very similar, if not identical, I don't know for sure, back end to what the UK security app does, and everyone on the T app has been doxxed by the hack. They got their faces, they got their IDs, they got their addresses off the IDs, they got their location information from where the app was saying they were logging into, all of it. So, as far as a personal information and security situation goes, that is something that you should be concerned about. As Rippy has been saying, yeah, people have been able to defeat the scanning, the ID scanning pretty effectively. I'm not going to say you should do it. I'm just going to say if you're giving them your real face and ID and information, right now it's not looking very, very secure. And that's why I'm talking about it. For no other reason than your personal security and the risk of putting your face in there causing you to be doxxed. So that is why I'm putting that information out there, just to let people know to have a look at it. On the Vshoujo side of things, for those of you who have not seen, Vshoujo doesn't exist anymore. The Vtuber, the company has just completely collapsed. Ironmouse, there's kind of been warning signs for a while with Centraia and them leaving a little bit ago. Yeah, I'm on a mainly Discord server. There is much wailing and mockery. Good to know. Anyways, on the Vshoujo side, yeah, we had some warnings with the recent departures earlier this year. Now, Ironmouse came out early this week and explained that she hasn't been getting paid, and Vshoujo stole, and we can say stole, $500,000 from the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Following that, I guess now it is, every VTuber in the company announced that they were quitting, and also most of them have also publicly said that they were also not being paid. So Vshoujo has not been paying them. They embezzled at least $500,000 from a charity. Much to defrauded and embezzled along with Grand Theft. Yeah. Multiple lawyers have weighed in and basically said that Vshoujo will be crucified. The big good news, besides them all now being free from Vshoujo, which has collapsed as an entity, is that Ironmouse and pretty much everyone else has been rallying around a huge push to get the Immune Deficiency Foundation their money. Oh, the YouTube chat's finally activating. Huzzah! Everyone say hi to YouTube. Every NDA no longer is in effect as well because the thing that they were NDA'd to has collapsed with it. But yeah, there's been a massive push for the Immune Deficiency Foundation on behalf of the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and they have passed $1 million. They passed it a couple days ago now, I think, which has been huge as everyone has rallied around getting them necessary funds, and this is huge. So I'm really glad to see that personally, though I also want to just let people know that that doesn't mean that it's okay for Free Shoujo to keep the $500,000. The Immune Deficiency Fund still should get that $500,000 on top of what was raised. It's just people have used this as a rallying point to help even more. So that has been a huge thing. For those who are not aware, Bishoujo has turned out to have been a very crap company. There has been there has been just that huge thing. I'm seeing I need to wait before I get to our last thing for the news side of things, which is why I specified corporate. Yeah, on the YouTube side, we understand. But yeah, I don't know how in the weeds I want to get in full details, but I do want to say that if you look at the donation side, in terms of who and where the donations are coming from, it is honestly really, really heartwarming. There are a lot of names in there that you would not expect. There are people there that, at least on the names, obviously there's a question on connecting some of them, but there are definitely names there of people and IDs that have either historically not engaged with the VTuber community or even had a problem with the VTuber community. Some people who just were a problem in the VTuber community, but all of them have rallied around the Immune Deficiency Fund. And I think that is absolutely amazing and not something... let me put it this way, if you see someone who you know was a bad actor on that list when you look, do not use this as an attack, as an excuse to be, oh yeah, you're just trying to buy forgiveness. This is a worthy cause. Let it be about that. I've seen some of that right there. So I just want to make sure that is... Oh, you came really close. You came really, really close. Oh, you did a second one. Nope, you did a second one. You only get one. You only get one. You came so close. You were almost the first one to actually follow the rules. Banhammer, please. Or Banax, thank you. You only get one. So that's my spiel on that. I'm not going to drag it out. There are way better dissertations. I'm just here to let people know what's going on, and to go look into it deeper. Now, I have been requested to wait before I continue into the next section. So I am going to wait up to I want you to shout the following message.
King Chucky the Useless. Chuckles the Pickle. Worst King of England.
Sorry, my audio was screwed up when I was trying to fix things. I will replay that if it'll let me. Okay. It's not giving me the replay option, but you can see what it says. Up to has played a shout. I'm going to move my microphone away so I don't destroy people's ears. I do have some compression on this mic. I don't know how good it is. Okay, I hope this is far enough away. King Chucky the Useless! Chuckles the Pickled! Worst King of England! I hope that was okay. Up to is happy. I hope that I was far enough away from the mic from that. I admittedly wasn't going super top of my lungs, but I was shouting. Okay, on to the next one. So this is a continuation of where we were with the Steam thing, and if you've been watching on my Twitter in particular, but also on the Discord, you will have seen me talking about this. It has gotten worse. So, as a recap, Collective Shout, or Crowd Shout, or whatever they're called, I think it's Collective Shout, is a very, very tiny little activist group in Australia that has gotten stuff banned across all of the world by bombarding credit card companies with form emails. And so they're currently primarily focusing on adult content, but understand that that's not where it's going to stop. And we just got a great example of that this week as well, that no, they're going after everything they can. So, because they have publicly said they want Detroit Become Human gone and Grand Theft Auto gone, which are very different from what they're currently targeting. But they've gotten thousands of games removed from Steam. Steam, as a token gesture, has given the game developers free Steam credits to allow them to put games on Steam, because Steam does require you to do an upfront cost to host the game. Those credits will cover that so that the devs can try to put a different game up on Steam. Or if things change, maybe put their previous game that was removed up on Steam. There are rumors of a Valve Pay, but I haven't seen anything confirming that, but that is a possibility. I certainly hope that something like that happens. And we will talk alternatives then before we move on. Itch.io, however, was also targeted, and their response was not as good. They shadow banned anything with the adult tag. They are currently going through the process of actively picking and removing everything that they can. So you should really look, if there's stuff on itch.io you want, nab it. But I would recommend you look to see if the devs have a different payment option, because they have frozen the payment accounts for all the devs, period, that are affected by this. Their money is completely locked up. And they have also removed games that people have bought from their accounts and ability to play. Because I did not realize that itch.io also does a Steam-like library system. So people bought stuff, but they don't own it, and itch.io is telling them to be happy. Thankfully, several groups have begun reaching out, and I've been trying to retweet them when I see them, saying, hey, we will host your games. Many game jams have been saying, okay, well, itch.io is off the table, even if they're not like an adult Game Jam, they've just said no, this is unacceptable. Itch.io is blacklisted, which is the correct response. Because what people aren't realizing is that this is not about the adult games. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is about the power to censor. They're using adult games right now because they want to do it to stuff that won't be publicly defended. And thankfully, a substantial chunk of the gaming community has seen it for what it is and is still going to defend it, even if it's not anything that people personally support or participate in. And I think that this is really, really important to do, especially since there's no way to do this without starting to get into some of the politics. Collective Shout has been caught supporting pedophiles. I'm not going to censor the word. I'm just going to say it. I know YouTube's going to start shadow banning me for it. But they have been caught supporting that. There's a ton of different things currently circulating that show it. The big thing people are talking about is the Cuties movie, but there are other things than just the movie. So it's like, okay, if you're perfectly fine with people doing this to small children in real life, what is your justification for going after adult content, video games and stuff? So it is, it's like, and the thing is, they are doubling down on some of this stuff, on a lot of this stuff, where it's like, no, but this is okay. Sure it is. So they are, pretty indefensible, though they're certainly trying. And where we got the proof that they're going to keep going is one day after itch.io collapsed, they announced they're going after Twitter. And basically saying no, and it's an even more blanket thing of, you will police everything because there is no, games library to remove, or we will have Twitter shut down. And realistically, that's because what they want is Twitter shut down. Yeah, Elon has already floated the idea of an XPay as an alternative. I believe that Cash App and Zelle also bypass credit cards in the credit card networks and our direct peer-to-peer, bank-to-bank, network-to-network, whatever, which means individual banks have to be the ones that are a problem. Venmo is owned by PayPal, so that doesn't work. And as I said before, crypto was literally made for this. I understand that the well of opinion has been poisoned because of all the crypto bros and scammers, but try to keep in mind that crypto was designed specifically to be uncensorable, not because number goes up. Also, if that happens, my will just be the next Twitter. So even best case is, they're just going to keep going. That's the thing. They have now been told that they can get anything they want attacked, and they want everything. They want complete control, and since they can't get it politically, at least not yet, they're going after it financially. And there needs to be a massive pushback. I am surprised I have not seen more people talking about doing the form email back at the payment processors. Admittedly, some of this is, well, the payment processors have gone after Steam before. They've gone after Tumblr. They've gone after DeviantArt. They've gone after Patreon. They've gone after Fansly. It turns out I was wrong. There is some engagement with them with OnlyFans, but Stripe has just kind of said, no, we're going to keep working with them. They're focusing on adult and inappropriate content here, though interestingly, they almost never go after actual real life child anything, it's always the other stuff. It's always adult this or adult that. They never go after trafficking or anything like that that's known, which a lot of people are trying to beat them over the head with, and I wish them luck with that. So it's currently a whole mess. And again, I'm bringing this up because I want to keep it informed. Of course, as you noted, they like. Well, it's not just this one group. It's that the payment processors as well historically have done absolutely nothing to crack down on actual real life child exploitation. Which, by the way, for those of you, I've mentioned the Cuties movie. For those of you who don't know what the Cuties movie is, it is a movie about 11 and younger year old girls twerking and doing stripper dance moves on stage. And they constantly say, oh no, it's to let people know about the dangers of this industry. No, it's an advertisement for the industry, and it is shot not in a way to be negative about it. And people are currently circulating that before the movie was made, over 650 small girls had to privately audition on stage for the makers of that movie. Would Chipper go burr? Yeah, there's the fact that anyone has been willing to defend that and has done so as fervently as they have is extremely telling. So that's, I had a whole thing. I actually, believe it or not, earlier this week, I was actually talking to an up-and-coming newstuber. I do not have permission to bring them into this, so I'm not going to. They were actually unaware of the situation, and I did a whole massive breakdown of it with them. To where sorry. Went down the wrong pipe. Anyways, I did a whole breakdown with them, and I look forward to seeing their own expose on it. I keep saying this and I never have time to do so. I may actually try to make a whole video, and I know it's like, oh no, drama tuber. Well, this is again, I try to talk about things that I feel need a spotlight on them. I feel people need to be informed of. And this is a huge one because it's going to, even if it doesn't affect you yet, it's going to affect everyone. The fact that it keeps spreading is proof of this. The fact that they keep jumping from thing to thing to thing, and it seems like it's going to be a new site being targeted every day now, there needs to be a pushback. And like I said, there's only so many options right now on how to do that. We need more, and we need more people being willing to broaden their horizons out past, oh, this is what I've always used. This is the most convenient option, that kind of stuff. There's a difference between reporting on something and stirring the pot. Okay, that's fair. I'm not really trying to stir the pot. I'm just trying to let people know what's going on and remind people that we either have options or need options. And again, in some cases, beg people to be open-minded enough about the options. So, and you're probably going to see more things coming out as people say, hey, we are offering alternative payment solutions to bypass this. Even if it's not necessary yet, I would highly recommend that if someone allows you to do that, that you give it a shot, because that kind of drop in customership is going to say something. Now, we know, as stated, Steam gave in. Linus of Linus Tech Tips has pointed out that Steam represents billions in revenue for the payment processors and probably could have told them to get lost. So it might be worth putting a little pressure on Steam to say, hey, we know that you could Did you really need to give in this way, or could you have just told them to get lost? Because yeah, it's like, okay, there are technically other ways to do Steam. The primary one, of course, is Steam cards, but they also take other credit card networks. At one point, they did take crypto. I'd love to see them take crypto again. Um, it's just it's it's a lot, and Steam probably, Steam rolling over really was the gateway moment because of how big they are. So maybe put in a spotlight on Steam to say, hey, there, you can help fix this. Maybe turn the Valve Pay into a reality, for example. And I know how they can do it mechanically. There's a lot of different ways to just hook into the ACH bank transfer system, which is direct bank to bank, but facilitation. That's probably U.S. exclusive, but if the biggest market tells them to get lost, then maybe everyone else is like, oh. So that is that. I know I'm going in circles now, so I'm going to cut it here. Like I said, I did have plans to do a much longer breakdown, but just don't think I want to do the full history of the censorship right now. But it's a very long and storied thing. So, cutting the news off relatively short for what it was originally planned to be. I actually expected to be here for about an hour and a half as I went over everything in more details. Hi, Blue Kitty. But, like I said, I just want to keep people informed and say, hey, go look over here. Like I said, maybe I'll see if I can get together for a breakdown video that you can watch at your leisure. And maybe at a faster speed if you can. In the meantime, for tonight's plan, I was thinking that we'd hop in and see if we could finish Choo Choo Charles. Maybe hop into something else just because I thought it would be a lot shorter. Now I'm wondering, well, because I did open up so much time, would it be better to do something else? Or do we just want to see if we can finish Choo Choo Charles quickly and then move on from there? What do you guys think? Want to make sure things are updated quickly. Good. What would you do instead? We'd probably go back to business as usual. I'd take a sec to set up Harvest Moon, and then Baldur's Gate 3, which, updates. It's been a while. Uh, yeah, it sounds like Rippy votes Choo Choo Charles. Maybe we do Choo Choo Charles and then Baldur's Gate 3 if we finish Choo Choo Charles. I set the censor thing to auto. I may turn it off or see about customizing it. I'm just going to leave it on for tonight. But yeah, it does seem to be automatically censoring that. Sorry. I just switched it on the auto because I saw some other people who got spammed with other words than just murder or kill or whatever. And I figured, okay, I can set up things for individual sites, but the Stream Social Ninja nuking stuff isn't such a bad idea. So my assassin is not verbal? Apparently. You know, I've already started to get used to being able to switch this keyboard between the computers. It is nice. I didn't think I'd like a membrane keyboard this much. I didn't think I'd like a partial keyboard this much. But it is nice. Really? Okay, yeah, the sensor thing is weird. I think I will look into doing custom. Yeah, I'm gonna look into customizing the sensor settings. It's because I think the censoring actually makes some of this way worse. Yeah, and I forget what his actual name was that was getting Nasser. Remember, has everyone seen the picture of Nasser getting his name censored? That was hilarious. That was hilarious and awful. It's like, wow, I remember his post vividly. Wow, I understand what you're doing. It's your censoring is making it worse. I forget what I was doing besides being killed by Charles. Where am I going? Well, since we're no longer time crunched, we can do this lady's mission. Assuming that thing's set to the right track. It is not. Wait. Never mind, we can do it from there. That works too. No, wait, no, that is the wrong one. Why didn't you switch? No. Stop it. That's the best place to do it from. Thank you. I still like how my games look better on the stream than they do on my screen, just because of the nature of how I'm doing this. I need to get like a good portable stream or screen. Alright guys, time to play Slender. I've only done this once, so I don't remember where any of the pages are. Oh, the pages are semi-randomized? Great. No, you leave me alone. Please? No, no, you leave me alone. No, no one likes you. Go away. No! Uh-uh. I don't think I'm outrunning it. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Where are the last two? This is one of those things where it's just like, nope, we just tape the shift key down. Charles tries to come. Slender's like, man, why are you arshing my vibe? Get out of here. Zai, run for your life. Brave Sir Zai, bravely. Well, I don't have any weapons that can hurt that thing. Saw a reaction app. Of course, you're right. Way too fast for that to be helpful. Yeah. That was fun. Let's never do it again. Thomas.jpg here. Or .mp3 here. JPEG, good grief. I think this is an 012O. And in spite being looking like a steam engine, it's definitely a diesel. Which, I can totally see people making diesels that are intentionally designed to look like steam engines just for aesthetic reasons. I've seen a couple. I don't know what their names are in terms of actual models. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of both diesel and electric. So this could, well, no, it does have exhaust. Diesel and electric engines that are mocked up to look like steam engines. And a hallmark of most of them, certainly the ones that aren't like for parks and stuff, is that they do not have pistons. They don't have pistons or crossbars. There are ones that are done for theme parks. Disney ones are probably the most famous. They either have functioning pistons basically just added to the wheels, or they have mock pistons. Nope, that's the direction I want to go. Or they have mock pistons added sort of outside the wheels. Could be English or under the boiler, but this makes diesel noises. But you're right, which is something I'm surprised that few people ever bring up, mention, or even know, is that the reason you see, well, I mentioned Thomas, let's bring up Thomas the tank engine. The reason he doesn't have pistons on the side is because the pistons are actually underneath in between the wheels. And they do that for a couple reasons. One of the big ones is because they have very finite tunnel sizes for a lot of the lines. They needed to save external space as much as they could when building their engines. So that's why a lot of engines have internal pistons. Nope, wait, nope. Darn it. Sitting here talking and not paying attention. Hold on, what did I see? Since we have the time, I can do those. Oh, never mind. We don't get a choice. Dang it, England, a tunnel is the size of two-horse oxen butts. Stop fat-shaming your farm animals. Well, you're not fat-shaming them because that means they're skinnier. They might be fat-shaming our farm animals. No, no, after all that, he just chased... Nope, that's him. If you can only get one weapon in this game, get this one. Alright. I'm gonna say, I thought he left. There aren't many reasons to stare at the size in particular, or kind of engine that was that Charles is using. Coherent poem. Well, he's using one of these. An unupgraded one of these. Charles is hiding in one of these engines from this line. Alright, there's like, I think 2 guys here. There's one. You, chase me. Chase me!
No trespassing!
Up to's not ashamed, up to's not knows what standard railway gauge is.
You wish you never came here!
I realized I needed to do that. There should be a second one, I think, over here. Wait a minute. Is this the one? No, I don't think this is. I'm gonna say, I thought there was one that was like, you came up a different path, and I was trying to remember if it was this one or not. No, I think it's the other one. Well, I thought there was another guy up here, but maybe I'm wrong. Right, need to get this guy to chase me.
Shouldn't be here!
Ow. Yeah, I don't know what the actual answer for that is. The two wide animal wagons is pretty convenient,
I hope you're fat!
but I don't think it's right.
Beat it!
I think there's a third one, but I don't think I can get them until after I get the egg. I might be wrong. Yeah, it's a decent explanation, and particularly for England and its tunnels, it certainly makes a lot of sense. Because England has a lot of tunnels and bridges. Alright, yeah, the other guy is over here. So you've got the interior pistons on a lot of engines. Now, as technology advanced, England did have the ability to do things like widen the tunnels or just build new rail lines that didn't require that. But that, particularly with a lot of their earlier engines, is why. Including models like what Thomas is based on. Which, as it turns out, the tank engine series that Thomas is based on is actually apparently really bad at its job. Which is just mean, but a funny thing. Oh, well, here we go again. Where are you? Given how incompetent that entire train yard is, it is really... Okay, I'm not taking the time to back up and go around, but I'm leaving that switch for when we come back around. We're already going that way. Though, I mean, if he doesn't attack me, we could switch that. Rippy just went there. I can't go in that tunnel without my light. Why not? I'm scared of the dark. I mean... There is a bit of a point there to where you are on rails. You are literally on rails. 20-ton steam engine can go wherever the scheduler says you go. Also true. Steam locomotives are giant multi-ton battering rams. Well, trains in general are giant multi-ton battering rams. Hooked it up, and in that short time, it seems that 5 foot is standard cart size and the width of 2 animals. Yeah, but oh right, that would not be the actual wheels, which would actually be on the outside, not the inside. Interesting. Charles is absolutely going to catch up with me sooner or later. I'm not sure if I want to leave my train for an extended distance to do this mission, given Charles. So I made them to match that size, which the inside width of a flange... Oh! Okay, that's a good point. Duh. We're talking trains running on it. Inside width of the flanges. There's a building there. It might be better to move over to the building. He already whistled for me. He's gonna be close. Oh, that building doesn't have an interior. It has that little tunnel. So therefore, cart and carriage makers could make railroad rolling stock the same size. Okay. So it would appear as though the answer is yes. A lot of things have been determined by the size of a 2-animal cart. Whether or not experts are willing to admit it or not.
Well, hello, darling. I'm making a fresh stew with ingredients from my very own swamp. But I don't have any meat at the moment. I smell a carcass on the island in the swamp, and if you wait over there and bring it back for me, I'll pay you some scraps. Although, you'll need to be wary of Barry, the swamp monster. Keep an eye out for him splashing around, and don't move if he gets close to you. As long as you stand still, he's as kind as a kitten.
But not based on Roman style. Okay, that's fair. That's also a very, very specific technical... No. It's wrong because... What is the shortest distance? It probably is just straight back. Maybe here? Oh, of course I picked a direction he's close to. And going in. I'm gonna pick a longer way that is hopefully farther away from him. Oh! So he just appears in whatever direction you're going. Cool, cool. Well, we might as well do the short one then. Because I'm already far away from the darn island. And I think Charles is going to get me. And then Charles comes screaming, the Swammer just heaves the nasty jerk out of the lake. That would be cool! Barry being a deterrent to Charles would be cool. Why are there so many monsters here? That's a very good question.
What a delicacy you found. Here are those scraps I offered. Have a safe night, little one.
Alright, let's see if I can do this without getting killed. Yeah, see, this is definitely not a steam engine. However, many small wheels for a work engine does make sense. Many small wheels is better for pulling heavy loads. And if anyone is surprised that I know anything about trains, you haven't been watching this stream for very long. I have all the hallmarks. Wait a minute. I don't remember which way it was going already. That reminds me of seeing someone complaining that the symbol is a puzzle piece, and it's like, what moron decided that instead of trains? Oh yeah, fewer larger wheels is faster, but this is a mining engine. Well, was a mining engine.
Thanks for bringing me those papers. Here are some scraps for your help.
Yeah, we're going that way next. It does in fact max out my damage. Haha. Also, I'm starting to think my capture card is just dying, which means, goody, I need to buy a new thing. Like how scrap metal is the de facto currency around. I mean, it's used to upgrade the engine. It's used for people to reinforce their homes for defense. You know, it kind of makes sense. Everyone needs scrap metal to defend against Charles. And well, I was about to say there's only so much to go around, but it does respawn in this game. Plus, technically, damage Charles enough and he starts dropping scrap metal. Also, know you are here for Charles. When people do know that to you, that's your survival. True. We're still skipping the tower guy because he is an a-hole. Also, he only gives one scrap. I don't care. We may check out the towers for the scrap spread around them, but he only gives one scrap, so he can suck it. I still really like that that you're actually allowed to move back and forth on these runners. Oh. There he is. Eat them! So I think I ran over one of the cultists.
Blast him!
Yeah, I think I ran over one of the cultists, and that's the other three. I don't think the dead body's gonna stay there. There are shotguns right there. Pick one up. I think the panic is drafted. Well, they're not panicking about me. They're panicking about Charles. But that is amusing. Run for life, run for life. Scrap! Run for life, run for life. I saw that red down there and thought that was Charles under me. I still want some mods for this game. Among other things, I want to find out if you have a maxed out engine, maybe even all the weapons to start. If you see if you can survive that first Charles, which will not leave until Eugene dies. Drinks the boost. Some liquid courage might help. That is Bob. Here's another shotgun. Take it. Okay, we need to do that mine. That I don't feel like doing him. Do we want to go do these? Get the final weapon and the lighthouse while we're here? Since we have time now. Yeah. Screw it. We'll do the mission just to like 100% it. I don't like this guy. He's a scumbag, and I wish you could run him over with the train. Pick doesn't have a Choo Choo Charles category, so I'm playing in Void Train, and someone is going to come into my stream and be very confused. Seems one apparently managed to get Charles to chase you on foot across the island, so he never comes to kill Eugene until you cue the temple and can kill his Mega Mode. I don't know how you do that, because you're in a locked area. There's invisible walls all around it. Unless there's a way to bypass that, or unless that was before there was a patch or something. Still, that's wild, surviving for that long on foot. This is another one of those things where the mission just never goes, but you do some exploring, you find stuff. Just watch him get stuck on one of those towers. Not now. Oh, come on. Eat him. This is why I want a revolver. To be able to get him to go away when he does this. Well, I'm picking a revolver because it's something that's like, you're not going to get a lot of ammo. It's going to be slow, but it'll work. What's the best way down from this spot? Wait, no, I think I could. I don't think I need to start the mission to, to just do this and then get it over with. Welcome to platforming in a game that's not built for platforming. my first playthrough and my second playthrough, where I was just testing how aggressive Charles was, which was not as aggressive as that first night we played. I ended up spending a lot of time on these towers because he just kept coming back.
You look like a monkey climbing those towers. I sure am glad I found these files. Here's that scrap you were begging for. Don't spend it all in one place.
So his mission is that he wants these files so he can sue Warren Charles III for underpaying him. He only gives you one scrap for getting them for him. There's a starting point. Thank you. I heard that noise. Why aren't you moving? We need one more egg. We need the temple. Technically, we can get another weapon and complete another scrap mission. We don't really need to do them, but we might as well. Now, if we're gonna do all this, we might as well actually do it all, since we have the time. It's gonna be a whole thing. Because Charles is in a closing mode where he will be more aggressive until I actually blast him away again. Oh, here we go. Please. I saw that red over there.
Paul asked me to design a new weapon to help you hunt Charles. And using my extensive demolitions experience, I made this rocket launcher. I've been wanting to see Warren's empire crumble for a long time. So building this puppy was a hell of an opportunity. Now that you're here, I need a few minutes to remove some safety features. While I'm working on that, why don't you bring that box of rocket ammunition back here from inside the bunker down the rail?
Already got him. That's a long run out. This is not going to be fun. I'm not doing the lighthouse run right now. You're exposed for way too long. Oh, do we want this guy to remove safety features again? Because we're playing with explosives. Failed 30-second flight. Success! Thing is, the noises 100% attract him.
The launcher is in complete working order, so I'll let you take it from here. Oh, and take good care of it. After you're done, I have a few people to visit with it, if you catch my drift.
Okay. Do I want to do the lighthouse run while Charles is probably going to charge me? You know what? Oh, I can't. That doesn't work. That could work, though. We could set up a short circuit here. Bait a fight. Try to get back here as quickly as possible. Could also bombard the temple with the rocket launcher and see about knocking out some of the guys. You don't need the lighthouse, you're already on an Uber charge for... Okay, that's fair. Never mind then. Do the final mine. Get this done and over with. And for the record, part of the big advantage of the rocket launcher, besides being able to use it as artillery to try to hit Charles from a far distance, is that you can also use it as artillery to try to hit cultists from a far distance. That is the wrong one. Why am I doing this? Because... Look at that health melt away! Bye! Bob is a very good weapon in this game. You know how long you kept us waiting? I don't know how much I really need, like, a metric ton of scraps, but I very much prefer better safe than sorry. Okay, we are gonna stop about there because we have the run to the mine, But that mine comes out here. And I think I'm going to try to bait the guys guarding the exit so that they're just gone and we don't need to worry about them.
Get him, boy!
Oh! You know, having a weapon that you can aim is great. Is that both of them? Or are those two it? Those might have been the only guards up here. We might have just... They might have just run down to the train to... And that's it. Okay, cool. Problem solved. You know, I may take the train on a circuit around here quick in order to just see about clearing stuff out first. Okay, cool. They just ran to their deaths. Sweet. I don't remember what guys are here at the entrance. Or that I'll be making chase me out. I guess there aren't any here at the entrance. Is there anyone I can make chase me out? Also, I'm hearing ominous banging noises coming from outside, so... Hi, how are you? Chase me. Chase me! Chase me! Chase me!
Who's that guy? Over there! You wish you never came here! No one can hear you screaming out here!
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Charles can.
Stop right there!
This is such a cheesy strategy. You know what they say, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Charles has to be able to damage these guys to kill them, and the off chance he runs into them. Therefore, my weapons must work on them too. I think there's another guy over here. And it's like we could stealth.
Get out of here!
Or we could do this. Come along. That's right.
You better run!
It's gotta be such a contrast to watch me and then have either speedrunners who are even calmer about all of this and also way better at it, or everyone else like IGP who are just screaming constantly. Alright, is there one more guy? No, there isn't. And I am going to move the train because it is a long run from the exit over. And we are actually going to be forced to use the stealth mechanics now. Because once I take that elevator, there's no going back to the train. There's no luring people back. No, and I might put the train a little closer. Because who knows what's gonna... If Charles is gonna decide he's close enough or not in the meantime. While I'm down there. I think I need a new capture card. Actually, looking at the time, I think we're going to take our break and then do the mine. But I'm at least going to get there. I'm going to get where we're going first. Also, just as a plug, reminder that I do have affiliate links, though right now Cascader seems to be the only one that's working. We're gonna have to look into that. Cascader is easy to use animation software. Use my link, code CYBER, you can get a discount off of it. If you get a year, it turns into a perpetual license. I think they're still doing that. I need to double check that actually. Also, again, plugging my own alternative payment. You can send a bunch of different kinds of crypto, namely Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum-based stuff, from most regular wallets to Zyfax.wallet instead of the super duper long address, and it should work. So there's the tin cup. Alright, with that said, we're going to take our midstream break, and I will be back shortly. See you guys in a little bit. I am back. We're going to get settled. And I believe before we do this, I need to address more on the censorship issue. Because I received a PM about, well, the censorship issue. And it shows the problem with some of what's going on and people's reactions to it. I received a PM from someone flat out saying, well, okay, so it was the issue of, well, they're already going after the free speech. Not just of games, in general. Okay? We know this. That's not new. I'm doing the reposts while I'm talking about this. We have also seen attempts to go after individuals involved, and some of that includes, but is not limited to, the fact that they have announced that they are going after Twitter already. Which means they will probably look at anyone talking about the issue as a problem. They are already manufacturing false threats, which the emails that they've shown have all proven to be manufactured and not from real domains. So they're already lining up for this, for trying to shut down all criticism and discussion about the censorship and just push for pure censorship. And so that means that people talking about it, criticizing it, spreading word of it, listening to those spreading word of it, oh, your Twitter likes are a problem, will be in their sights if they continue to get their way. And the private message that I received about this, and the reason why I'm sitting here saying this is a problem directly, is, well, just don't talk about it. If you're scared, if you don't want to get in trouble, just don't get involved. That's the point. That's exactly why they're doing it this way. Because that way, it's basically a Rocco's basilisk of, well, if it will attack you for trying to stop it if you fail to stop it. And I could not get them to understand that that is exactly the problem. The fact that as Americans, people in Australia are able to curb free speech about this. And the idea of trying to, of saying, well, if don't talk about it because then when it's your turn, you're going to be in trouble. Maybe we stop it before it's our turn. That mentality just drives me. The idea of, well, just don't make trouble. Do not make trouble. You will not get in trouble. There's been a couple nations that have relied very heavily on that mentality. None of them are remembered well. And again, that is the other thing, and how we know that is the payment processors that are ultimately supporting and behind it. Collective Shout just happens to be the instigator at this point. They are Australian. They could have gone, the payment processors could have gone to Steam in itch.io and said, block this in Australia. But they didn't. That's how we know they are ultimately in full agreement of this. The fact that they didn't just say, block this in Australia, they said, remove it completely, globally, all gone. That's how we know this is what the actual end game is. And that's why we can't just roll over and not talk about it and not put pressure back on it, because that's exactly what they want. Because if everyone's so scared of, oh no, if I say something, they'll eventually get me, well, they'll eventually get you anyways for something else that you didn't think of. This isn't conspiracy theory. This isn't doomsaying. The day after they did Steam, itch.io, and the day after itch.io, they're already on Twitter. Come on. Yeah, if you think that way, it's already done for you. They have already shut you up and silenced you and gotten what they want, but they're still going to get you in trouble because you're still going to say something that you think is okay that they will decide isn't. That's just how it works. Thankfully, Elon Musk seems to have been very unhappy about this. The amount of money, he's much like Steam in that the amount of money he drives through the payment platforms hopefully will be enough to keep him from saying no. He's already threatened an XPay. We know he likes crypto. Doesn't matter if you like him. Right now, this needs to be a unified front, and we need to agree with people that we otherwise might not want to talk to. Because if we don't, it is more divide and conquer, just like how all the people who laughed at Japanese anime and manga didn't do anything, and now they're being hit. All the people that laughed at the furries didn't do anything, and now they're getting hit. All the people that laughed at Tumblr didn't do anything, and they didn't get hit. Pixiv, Patreon, DeviantArt, YouTube multiple times, Twitch multiple times. List goes on. So, yeah, I just had that very short conversation, and I'm going to have a longer conversation later, while I was on break. I wanted to put that out there. When I cut this stuff out, I'll add this into the first part. It is important to understand that just don't say anything is the goal. All right. Let's do this. Let's get back to the game. That's why I say this is more than politics, because as was just seen with the Blue Sky Group, you will be targeted at some point. Alright, now we have to do actual stealth things. I can't believe I got away with that. I had no business getting away with that. All right. I don't know if we want to I'm not going to bother with the lighthouse. We're going to assume this is good enough. I'm looking in the wrong direction. I don't know. Do I want... if I start an actual bombardment, Charles will definitely notice. Okay, there's a guy at the very top. There's two guys down there. There's a guy down there. I don't know if this is an intended use of the map, but I like that it is a use of the map. Really? Screw it.
Step away from the shrine, stranger. You don't know what you're doing. Just put the egg down slowly and lay flat on the ground. You'll hurt far too many people if you follow through with whatever you're planning.
No! No! You fool! You've doomed us all!
I will probably not see a lot of chat. Good job, Iwarn. Did he get caught in a tree? The flamethrower is so powerful. But you can see, Bob really just ate away at his health so fast. Ta-da! So that was pretty quick. This game's greatest weakness, it's not very long. Now we wait for the sequel, Gus the Bus. No, up to? Gus the Bus is directly mentioned in one of the letters in this game as being a monstrosity that even Choo Choo Charles fears. So, Gus the Bus, if there's a sequel, will probably be the actual enemy of the sequel. Now, I already had forgotten that we wanted to do Baldur's Gate 3, so I didn't get the mods loaded and updated and everything. I think we're going to pick something that will be faster to get set up for our sequel for tonight, so that we're not waiting 10, 20 minutes for the mods to load. I think that's going to be our plan. Um, how much time do we have left? A little over an hour. Admittedly, the idea of trying to drive while fleeing demon bus through any major city is in fact deeply worrying. True. Though, I suspect if he does make Gus the Bus, it'll probably be in another small town. You know, small town creepies type stuff. I know what we could do. As something a little different. Something a lot different. We could do blueprints. Now, as a warning, I'm not 100% blind on this. And now for something completely different. Never heard of it, but up to his game. All right. Getting that loaded quick while I change over the categories. Change over the keyboard. Edit. Blueprints. Edit. Edit. Blueprints. Edit. Blueprints. I don't think the other ones are going to be too bothered by that. Wrong one, because I'm stupid. There we go. Blueprints! Actually... Nope.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Day 1. I do not remember the padlock code, but I did see it at one point. If you know, you know. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose one footstep. When you no longer have any one footstep left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and must call it a day. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in the lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my attentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Tools and items found on this estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous days. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, don't go where the path leads. Abandon the path and go where you want it to lead. With all my love and best wishes, best of luck, Herbert H. Sinclair. You found the Mount Holly blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and an inventory log during your adventure. You may access the blueprint menu by pressing Tab. It costs steps to go out there. Like I said, I don't remember. I saw the apple orchard combination, but I don't remember what it was. And the apple orchard combination is kind of important. One key. A genuine lucky rabbit's foot. Greater chance of finding items. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring our house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread will be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Nom 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 nom. Don't depend on success yesterday. We'll be depending on those so dang hard. Notice how going into and out of the closet both took a step? Yep. You don't backtrack unless you have to. I think early on getting as many rooms to try to get stuff that carries over is going to be really important. Check one item and receive it on another day. Well, my inventory is just a lucky rabbit's foot, so I don't know if that'll do me any good. Let's get some more steps. Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note. Thank you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality is what somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house, and I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles, and I appreciate that I didn't need to know the rolls of darts to play your variation. Hoping your health improves shortly. Spare set of car keys. Storeroom, spare room, commissary. Spare room. Or, if you're a fan of a certain franchise, spare room. No one is going to get that reference. journal noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on your journey. That's what chat's for. Parlor, the hallway, the secret passage. You may have missed something. Doors in the West Wing are more likely to be locked. The corridor, the bedroom, the nursery. Corridor connects back to the den so I can backtrack easier. I've only got one gem, so I don't want to waste it yet. But I think bedroom has a chance of dropping items. Well, you don't do me a lot of good. Greetings from Reddington. I don't want to waste a key yet. Chapel, parlor, courtyard. Do the courtyard. It was worth it. It was really worth it. Corridor, storeroom, lavatory. Broken lever. So at this point, it's almost worth it before I get too far away to backtrack and see if I can get items out of the Great Hall. Or the entrance hall, excuse me, not Great Hall. I think. Let's see. That would open up more to the side. I know there's a safe in there, but I don't think I know the combination of that, even if I did remember. I don't think I ever saw that combination. Breaker box is like 50-50 chance of being useful, I think. Because I know that you can turn power on and off to rooms. Oh no, there's a puzzle with the breaker box, isn't there? Darn it. I know there is a puzzle at the breaker box. I don't know the details of the puzzle. It is not worth it. Dining room, parlor, bunk room, dining room. Lavatory, coat check, observatory. I know this one's useful. Also to note for our new players, the blueprint contains room of 45 rooms. This is probably important. Please spend the number of stars. Please. You're kidding me, right? Is that really how you have to do this? Oh! Yes and no. Ah. Do I want to Google this? Not in the first night? Okay. Oh, there goes the money I just got. Screw it. Ooh, I get my key back. Yay! That was worth it. Just in time. Conference room, workshop, kitchen. Never items would spread through the house are placed in this room instead. Some special rooms allow you to spread items throughout your house. When items are spread, they are immediately placed in several of the rooms currently on your estate. However, if you have a conference room, spread items are gathered in that room instead. Safe code 9083. Alright, so one of the safes. Billiard room, coat check, passageway. Thank you. I do know the puzzle for this one. At least I think I remember the puzzle for this one. Four plus 8 is 12. 19 minus 14 is 5. 11 minus 3 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. Oh, we're not done. Okay. 10 minus 4 is 6. Times 3 is 18. Aha! Thank you. The boudoir, the dark room, which I can turn the lights back on. I think that still turns off even with that. Draw. Well, I don't have the gems for that. Let's do the dark room and see if you do turn off, and I think you do. You do. Back to the utility closet. All the way back to the utility closet. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I can't go back to the utility closet. Never mind. Well, at least we have an alternate path to try. Paula, security, commissary. Security. Yeah, the security cameras work. Thunder was fire piston. Looking for items before I start poking things. Staff notice effective the first week of December. Payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically, as your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call. It is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Terminal password. Bleh. Till further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked and access levers are no longer required to grant entry. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate, likewise as a redundant security measure. Normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. Blue memos equal true, red memos equal lies. Unless written look in the big screen. Look in the big screen with more details. I have my own magnifying glass. I think that says by hand. Which means that is a lie. I need the lever. System settings, set security level to low. So I know some of this. Offline mode. Unlocked. Big screen! That's an S. That's... Seems like a really dated computer for... It is, but I mean, think about how long it takes technology to update, plus security through obsolescence is a legitimate thing. This looks like an O. Or a Q. All right. So did that work, or do I need to turn them on and off again? It worked! Haha! Great hall with 7 locked doors. I have 3 keys. Nursery. Whenever you draft a bedroom, but that's a dead end. Laboratory. Goes north, but costs... Oh, I don't have a gem. Never mind. I don't have a choice. Never mind. I only get one option. Now, because I depowered the security doors, and he just set security to default open when powered down, he's just nullified all security doors. Takes both rooms to make this combo work, but it pays off if it comes through. Clearly. Wait a minute. There was a security door here. So if I need to backtrack, I can go north for free. I have 3 keys, and I know that door takes me out. Ooh, wait a minute. So that door and those 2 doors? I'll start with this door. Parlor, go south, lavatory, and kitchen. Well, I don't want a dead end, so I guess I have to do parlor. This is the black box. This is the black box. The black box is not empty. Okay. Game. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the old